Tom Steyer is the co-executive chair of Galvanize Climate Solutions. He ran, of course, for president in 2020. He joins me tonight from Glasgow. It is good to have you, sir. Look, whether one agrees with AOC's politics or not, she makes the point. We have to deliver to get credibility. And I wonder what credibility we have, or anybody has, bearing in mind the number is 2.4%. If we carry on, we are not going to make 1.5%, which is the degrees, which is the agreed target that we need not to go beyond. That's not going to happen. We've failed.
Well, Richard, this conference in Glasgow has been two basic things. It has been countries putting forward pledges called nationally determined contributions about what they're going to do as a country. And those pledges have moved that 2.4 degrees above pre-industrial down to 1.8 degrees above pre-industrial. That's half of what's going on in Glasgow. But the other half is, for the first time, international business, and specifically American business, has showed up at a level of seriousness that we've never seen before. So when you talk about actually achieving change on the ground, executing what has to happen, we're seeing people show up, private sector people, entrepreneurs and CEOs, and talking about what they're going to do specifically. And that pivot to execution is probably the most important thing coming out of this Glasgow conference.
Mark Carney told us last week on this program the thing that's needed most is clarity of policy. Because if you know what the targets are, then business can deal with that, if you like. You might not like it, but you can deal with it. Do you get a feeling of clarity yet?
Well, I think we've had 10 years of people within countries and policymakers talking about strategies. And is it clear? I mean, there are a lot of things that have to be determined on the ground. But, you know, it is very easy to say that this is all about strategy. Strategy is necessary to set a framework, and that's absolutely true. But execution is where we are, Richard. And execution is hard. You know, we really need to say that you set the strategy and it's done. I think it is, you know, wishful thinking. This is going to take a collaboration between the public and private sectors, and it's going to take incredible effort to get this done, and it's not a given.
Okay, Tom, but if we take, for example, the two voices, Barack Obama saying democracy is messy and you don't always get what you want and what you need, etc., when she said, but then you take Greta, who says, look, I don't care what you're saying. I mean, forget how she may say it. Her basic point is your targets and your actions are not enough. Now those are factual. Though, if we get that bit wrong, we will live to regret it to our demise.
There's no doubt about it, Richard. I mean, there is a need for true urgency. You know, I've been fighting on this for 15 years to say we need to do this in an urgent and comprehensive fashion, that we absolutely need to push in a way that we have never pushed. And it's true, 1.8, which is the promises, is not 1.5. And by the way, making a promise is not actually doing something. So there is an absolute need to take into our policymakers and also our businesses to understand this has to happen. So, but this has been, I don't think you throw out the baby with the bathwater. This is a process where we are now at the sticking point.
Right.
If we want to make 1.5, we have to have an amazing 2020s. If we miss this decade, we absolutely miss. So let's see, you know, game on.
Right. Tom, I wanted to talk about billionaires, tax rises and all sorts of things, but they seem rather trivial compared to the existential crisis that we're facing with climate change. So you'll be back again, I hope. We can talk other issues at a future date, because we do like to have you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Richard. Thanks for having me.